When Jessica Alexanderson started scuba diving, her heart was set on finding beautiful marine life in Puget Sound. What she discovered was shocking.
It's just absolutely terrible. When I first started diving in 2014, I was like, what? Every single dive site I've ever been to has tires.
She's right. There are thousands of sunken tires at just about every popular dive site. Some have been there since the 1960s when the State Department of Natural Resources put them there. Along with other groups, thousands of tires were strung together in various shapes to mimic reef structures. But why?
They were targeting rockfish and they were targeting lingcod because there was kind of a dip in their population at the time that these tires were installed. So they were intended to boost these fish for recreational fishing purposes.
But researchers say there was no boost. DNR follow-up surveys to most areas showed the tire plan fell flat, and any potential harm to the health of the sound was already in motion.
I understand they're not decomposing.
Public Lands Commissioner Dave Upthegrove says concerns went beyond the tires themselves.
When the ropes that tied them together dissolve, and they can end up spreading out and actually damaging habitat and damaging wildlife instead of enhancing it over time.
Nearly 60 years later, new legislative funding is jump-starting work to finally get those tires out. In just one area, DNR removed about 2,500 tires by Tolmie State Park near the mouth of the Nisqually River. Commissioner Upthegrove says removing all the tires will likely cost more than $7 million. Putting tires in Puget Sound may simply not make sense to the average Washingtonian.
So it doesn't surprise me. At the time, it seemed like a good idea based on what they knew then. And now we're doing the best thing we can for salmon and orca and habitat based on what we know now.
They're chiselers with their teeth. And so if they're chiseling on the tire, that's going to be releasing small amounts of rubbers and all the chemicals that are in it. You know, there's things breaking down over time, but then there's also animals that can break it down faster. And the urchins are actually one of those.
Marine biologist educators at places like Highline College's Mass Center Aquarium on Redondo Beach in Des Moines are relieved to see the decades-old tire plan reversed.
Every step is a positive step. The health of the Puget Sound, the health of our environment affects us. One of the reasons climate change is worse is because the environment is less healthy.
Back to the surface with Jessica Alexanderson and her dive buddy Eric Axelrod. They've found life thriving where past failed experiments have been corrected.
Unfortunately, there was a bunch of tires actually near where the octopus den was built, and we actually helped remove some of those tires. And right after we removed the tires is when she moved in. But the den is made out of rock structure.
As hundreds of the giant Pacific octopus eggs continue to hatch, lovers of our Pacific Northwest waters are reminded.
Here it goes.
Okay.
Consequences of the past run deep. Most of the tires in Puget Sound look like this one, but there are a variety of sizes, including semi-truck tires. While many of these tires are starting to come out of Puget Sound, the DNR team tells me there's a major issue it's going to have to deal with. It's not really known exactly how many tires are in the Sound. That's because groups outside of DNR sunk tires of their own in areas not within state-owned aquatic lands. DNR believes there are about 100,000 tires in Puget Sound, but they estimate there's at least 30% more than that. That number could change as tire removals continue. King 5 will keep you updated. At Redondo Beach, for Environment Northwest, I'm Farah Jadran.